Reverse will do exactly what it says it will do and reverses the reverb. Really cool if you want that reverse snare effect. The pre-delay determines the amount of time it takes for the reverb to kick in. Boosting this up can help to create the effect of a larger space. We can control the reverb time with this control, just like we did with the slider earlier. Size determines the size of the simulated space. Level controls the volume of the reverb. tail split and mix allow us to control the relationship between the early reflections and the tail of the reverb. We can choose where the tail begins using the split knob and change its level. A value of 60 on the split knob would mean that early reflections will be heard for 60 milliseconds before the tail begins. On the mix knob, a value below 50 will lower the level of the tail, and a value above 50 will lower the level of the early reflections. Watch the display as I make this change. If you're working with 5.1, the rear settings can be used to create a different reverb setup for the rear channels. The EQ controls let us tweak the overall tone of the reverb. Click here to turn it on and use the boxes down here to change it up. Or click on the Equalizer tab and drag the points around. If you're happy with the overall settings, or you'd at least like to save what you've done, you can click Store to save it. Just give it a name here. We can also use the tag or attribute editor to add even more info to make it easier to search for later on. Hit OK when you're done. We can also assign presets to these slots for easy recall. Just click on a slot to activate it. Any slot that isn't light blue like this one is empty and is safe to click on. Now change the settings or leave them as they are and hit Store again. Double-click on slots to switch between them. Clicking Recall will restore the preset back to the state it was in when it was stored. This is great if you've made changes you're unhappy with. Click Erase to erase the program. Finally, we have the Out control. This determines the output level of the plugin. Have fun using this extremely powerful reverb.